Protect your furniture for just a little cash. And speaking of money, see why a copper penny melts, but the cloth underneath it only chars. Overloaded circuits, frayed wires, and faulty plugs are all cause for concern. Electrical problems account for nearly 68,000 home fires a year. One of the ways to keep your home from catching fire is to make sure the items in it aren't flammable. The makers of a fire retardant called Flame Tard claim their product works so well that you can actually melt copper on a cotton cloth without catching the cloth on fire. To test this, we followed the directions on the bottle.
Soaked in the stuff. All right, just to show that we're not cheating here, we're gonna set this up and then we're gonna heat things up. Cool, huh?
To see what this fire retardant can really do, it's time for the penny test. To get copper to its melting point, you need a hot fire. A MAP gas torch should be plenty. So we'll just put the treated cloth over a bowl. The cotton cloth chars, but remains intact and doesn't catch fire. After about 45 seconds, the penny reaches nearly 800 degrees Fahrenheit, and the zinc inside the penny melts. At nearly a minute, the cloth finally begins to give way, but not before the copper reaches its melting point.
As you can see, it didn't take but 5 seconds for that untreated.
Also try a paper napkin soaked in flame tard.
To have that much heat on a piece of paper, awesome.
And here's how it works. As flame tard is sprayed on, it impregnates the fibers of a flammable material with a non-flammable chemical. When heat is applied, the chemical swells to create a protective charred coating over the flammable material. This swelling is known as an intumescent chemical reaction. Simple spray that just might save your furniture. We sacrifice a couch in the name of science. Here's the drill. Half of our setup is treated with flame retardant, the other half isn't.
So you really think we're gonna have half of a couch when we're finished with?
It doesn't take long to catch untreated upholstery on fire.
The untreated side.
On the treated side, it takes quite a while, but eventually the fire does get through the upholstery and begins to burn the unprotected foam padding. At about 2 minutes into our test, the untreated drapes ignite, and in about 15 seconds, they are nothing but ash.
That is smoking.
Even with this much heat being generated, the treated curtains aren't catching. After 6.5 minutes, we douse the flames. It's pretty easy to see which side held up better.
You sure know how to make a barbecue.
Well, that's what we like to do.
This was the untreated side. What mostly caught fires I'm looking at is the inside. But the treated side gave it a little bit more time to go up.
Even though the fire made it through the treated side of the couch, it barely touched the treated curtains.
That's
We
almost
got a little hole in it.
fully intact.
A fire retardant won't always stop a fire, but for 20 bucks, it just might buy you a little extra time to escape. So now we've seen how the fire retardants work on furniture and on the outside of your house. Preventing fires is key, but when the worst does happen, new technology is saving lives.